Hello, everyone. And tonight we have a very special guest, a couple of announcements at the top of the hour, and then we will dive into our very juicy program tonight. So we have a new blog posted just today called Leather Weather, and I'm wearing my vintage chocolate brown leather dress for two reasons: to celebrate the blog, and Sarah Zengo, who is over in the Facebook group, Hank and I are over here on Zoom with the lovely Maria, did a phenomenal job with the photos for the blog. So if you haven't seen it, please check it out. Next Wednesday, we're going to do a whole Facebook Live on leather weather, but Hank and I are going to preview it. We're going to sprinkle a couple of tips in. And I actually dressed for you, Hank, because every time I see you, when I work with Hank at her house, I have my flats on and my leggings because we run around like crazy people for 2 to 3 hours and play with her amazing clothes. I played with all of her awesome leathers this week, and she's going to show them to us. But what I'd like to do, this is Hank's third time being with us. Hank, thank you so much. You were our very first guest a year ago, if you can believe it. So it was just so awesome to have you back tonight. We didn't know what we were doing. If you all of you that were there for that first one, my son Timmy was trying to help us, but we now have had probably 35 lives since then, and Hank has been back a few times. And I always feel bad that we never get to her book. We go right into the fashion. We're going to start with her book. She had a very special day today. She is being the guest of honor at Crime Bake. I love that, Crime Bake. She'll talk to us a little bit about that. So she had a very busy day filming for that, but she's here tonight. And again, I really want to start and celebrate this beautiful book, Hank. So welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I loved our session on Monday, helping you get ready for your amazing interview today. And I'm just so pleased that you could jump back on with us and help us celebrate a year of doing these, which what a year. And they have, as you know, because you use Facebook Live as well, just a wonderful way to connect and share and serve in a whole new way. So thank you, Hank. And I have to tell you, Hank gave me this book on Monday night, and I am halfway through it.
Wow.
I love a good book. This is fabulous. So tell us about it. You were writing it last year at this time. And I know that you said, and I told you, don't tell me, tell the ladies, you're going to share two stories that inspired the book. So welcome, Hank, and I'm going to hand it over to you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Mary Lou. I am a huge fan. I think it's interesting how this program has developed and grown over the year. I mean, who would have thought 18 months ago we would know how to do Zoom to Facebook and put up the lights and do the audio and how to set everything so it works perfectly and do the comments and have other people helping us. And it's just, we've all tried to do the best we can. We've all been hit with this, thing that pulled the rug out from under our lives. And we've all been doing our best to sort of keep on an even keel, to keep ourselves together, to keep ourselves connected with each other. And you have done such a fabulous job of that. You don't know that I'm at every live event that you have here on Zoom. And if I'm not there, I watch them later and just sort of fast forward to see the clothes. Can I tell you that? That's what I do. I fast forward to see what clothing you're holding up, because I always get good ideas from you. So thank you, and thank you all. I'm so honored to be talking about Her Perfect Life tonight, very, very briefly. And Her Perfect Life is really relevant to all of us, because especially these days, we're all trying to do the best we can. We're all trying to stay confident and stay cool in the face of real disaster. And the title, of course, of Her Perfect Life is a little bit ironic, because of course no one can have a perfect life. So Her Perfect Life stars Lily Atwood, who is a television reporter in Boston. Everybody knows who Lily Atwood is, and that is her biggest problem, because Lily is in the spotlight. She has fame, she has fortune, she has Emmys, she's a single mom to an adorable 7-year-old daughter, but she also has a big secret. She has a big, dark, career-ending, life-ruining secret, and it seems like someone is about to tell that. So Lily is trying to keep a secret, but she wonders, how can you keep a secret when you're always in the spotlight? And perhaps the spotlight is the most dangerous place of all. So bottom line, it's a fast-paced, page-turning, I know I can say that,
It is.
fast-paced, page-turning thriller, a sort of a psychological cat and mouse game where two smart women face off to prove their truth in about a devastating childhood betrayal. But in this high stakes cat and mouse game, which woman is the cat and which woman is the mouse? And how can you possibly have a perfect life? And the spotlight, this book is all about being in the spotlight and all about Lily, the reporter, having to look as perfect as she can all the time, and how much stress that is, and how she's one tweet, one wrong word, one wrong Facebook post, one wrong message away from career disaster. And the vulnerability of the spotlight also takes center stage in this book. And you were asking about a story quickly. When I was anchoring the news in Atlanta some years ago, and I got home from anchoring the news late after midnight one night, turned down my little street in Atlanta, and the street was full of police cars, full of police cars. Some of your listeners may be in Atlanta. I worked at WSB TV for years and years, so you would have seen me with long brown hair at the time. Anyway, so I turned the corner and there are police cars on the street, and I thought maybe I've stumbled onto a crime scene. Turned out the police cars were at my house and the crime scene was my house. So I leaped out of the car, ran to the police officer. I said, "I'm Hank Phillippi." And he said, "Yeah, I know who you are." And I said, "Well, that's my house." And he said, "Yeah, I know that." I said, "Well, why are you all here? What happened?" And he said, "We caught a burglar in your house." And he told us he's there. They said he's there in the cruiser. So we caught him. And the police officer said to me, "He broke into your house," he told us, "because he knew you were live on television. And because he knew you were live on TV, he knew you weren't home."
Wow.
So
Wow.
that was when I had this epiphany about the spotlight and the vulnerability of the spotlight, that people know where I am. They know when I leave the station. They know when I'm on TV. They know if I'm in a live shot at X, Y, and Z place, that's where I actually am. You could come there and see me and be with me. And they also know where I'm not at home, not at Lily's fictional daughter's school. So it's a really dangerous thing being a reporter. And that's what I'm trying to portray in Her Perfect Life. Do you see the Emmys behind me? And all of those Emmys that I've won are because something good happened, right? We've got people's homes out of foreclosure, people sent to prison, lives changed, laws changed. But every one of those Emmys also represents an enemy that I made, someone whose story I told, whose scheme I revealed, who they'd rather have kept secret. And that's what I'm also trying to portray in Her Perfect Life, that reporters who are trying to do good for the greater good may be putting themselves in danger. And you have to look camera ready all the time while you're doing it.
Wow. Okay. I'm about almost halfway in. Now it's making more sense to me. So those are the two stories that inspired you. So I love that, Hank. And before we get into the fashion, share a little bit about the pressure that you feel daily on appearance and wardrobe and looking perfect. And share, I think one of the good things that came out of the pandemic is that people have lessened up a bit and have started to be a little bit more aware of some of the negative facets of trying to do it all and trying to be perfect. So just speak to that a little bit. I know you and I have had some wonderful conversations about that.
Well, I think it's really part of our growth as human beings to learn sort of what really does matter and what really doesn't matter. What's fun? It's fun to dress up and it's fun to look wonderful and it's fun to be comfortable and it's fun to play with clothing. We love that. Of course we do. And we all want to look good, but someone said to me once, great is the enemy of good. And that fine is fine. We need to, especially now, I think we need to keep our self-respect. We need to still look wonderful because that makes us feel good. It's not about somebody else. It's about how we are. As a reporter, when I'm in the spotlight all the time, I'm aware that I can walk down the street in Boston or go to the laundromat or to the grocery store and someone says, "Oh, you're Hank Phillippi Ryan." And I don't want them to say, "Oh, you look better on TV." So there's this constant judging, constant judging. And I chose that as a career. I understand that. I embrace it. I do not dismiss it or deride it. I completely embrace that. That is part of the deal. But in the book, although Lily, like me, embraces the spotlight and understands that she has to seem perfect all the time, even though she's not, her daughter didn't choose the spotlight. And the conflict in this book is, how does Lily keep her perfect vision of her perfect life? I mean, she's so perfect that her fans have created a hashtag Perfect Lily. And how do you live up to that? And what if someone is actively trying to ruin it? When your daughter, your darling daughter, didn't choose the spotlight, how do you protect her and still keep your career? And that balance of career and family life and clothing, looking good, is something that we all deal with on so many levels.
Okay. Oh, great. And if I can just segue, and I hope it's okay to share this with you. So, guys, I go to Hank's all the time, and I cannot wait to get into the clothes because it's fun. Hank, you know what I love about working? I mean, I love many things about working with you. And I don't even know if you're aware of this. So a lot of times I get there, and Hank is a busy gal. She's on television. She has what number book is this? 13?
This is book 13.
Yeah, I thought it was book 13, people.
Book
She's
13, and it just got starred reviews from Publishers Weekly and Kirkus, so that's amazing. And it is already in a second printing.
wow.
So if you want a first edition of this book, you need to go now to Amazon or to your local bookstore.
Putting it up in the chat. Please buy this book. Hank has been such a great friend to us, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the fashion. I'm loving the style. If you know, a lot of you live in Boston. I'm loving the references to Boston, and of course, I'm seeing a lot of my buddy Hank in it, which is now.
Well, I'll put up a link in the chat too. There's a place where I can get you a signed book to you, a book personally signed to you, or as a holiday gift. We know that the supply chain problems are happening, so I'm happy to sign a book, to Aunt Sally or to your sister, whoever you like. I'm happy to do that for you, and I'll put a link in the chat where you can get that very quickly. First edition from a local bookstore.
And if we can help too, Hank, because I'm in and out of your house, if people here need them, I'm happy to drop off a book for Hank anytime. I know shipping costs get crazy, and if people want them for Christmas, I am out in my car all the time, and I have two boys coming home from college that need some jobs. So my boys will personally get you a book signed by Hank if you live in the local area. It would be our pleasure. But the way I wanted to segue into the next piece, and I did give it a lot of thought.
You were going to tell me something secret. Did we miss that?
Tell you something secret. So I go to Hank's house, and I mean, I go in and I see, box of books. I see her chatting with Channel 7 about her latest project. I see, her busy life. And we usually have this like 20-25 really deep connected conversation, which I also love because I love women and I love connecting. And I love women that have interesting lives like Hank. And Hank, you're just so great. And we just have these super deep, even this week we did super deep conversation. And then all of a sudden, I always know, like, okay, I know when to like start getting into the clothes. Your entire being changes when we start playing with the clothes. And it came to me, a couple of years ago, this isn't new, that part of the work that I do with you, Hank, is to give you a break from the computer, from that brain work, and play. And Hank is, if you've seen her house, and I took a couple of pictures when I was there, and if it's okay with you, Hank, I do want to put them up in the chat tomorrow because it shows the outfits, a few of the outfits, and don't worry, they're really good pictures of you. I would never.
Well, cut off my face, because usually I know I look at you like.
Oh no, we got a mask on. You had a mask on, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay. But anyway, I just feel like a big part of serving you, Hank, is that you're so creative. All you have to do is look at your office, look at your home, even the place where we chose to have your interview. And Hank always brings me in on that, which is just so fun for me. Like, we walked around her house and we were like, this is where the interview has to be. We put on, I can admit this to you guys, 10 outfits. to get it right. She had black boots. We changed the black boots to these beautiful pinky beigey boots because it went with the pillows and the couch. But we usually do 2 hours. We don't come up for air. It is pure joy to play with those clothes. And clothing, when you have designer pieces like Hank, and you guys have heard me say this a million times, I've never met anyone that does the high-low better.
Well, let me just say one thing about how we
and
work
I'm pulling
together.
together stuff from Banana and Target, and it's just a blast. So
Whatever works. I have a stack of Gap t-shirts that you won't believe. I've hidden them from you. But I think I think what works with what you do, and I'm sure it's not just me, but everyone you work with, we need someone as a sounding board. We need like the cool, smart, fashionable sister to come over and just sort of say, is this okay? Is this red okay? Should I keep this? You just need another opinion. But I can't, I want somebody who knows what they're talking about. I want somebody who I respect. And so I look at you like a fabulous sister who will come and talk to me in an honest way. I mean, I know your face, and I know your little statements like, those had a moment. I remember those, and that means don't wear that anymore. I know your fashion shorthand, and it's wonderful because you're honest. Or you'll say, yeah, not as good as the other one, or that's a little skewing old. And then I just go, no, okay, fine, that's fine. I mean, I am old. I just turned 72. So, I'm talking about when I'm talking old, I'm talking like 150. So,
but part of my journey with Hank was going over, I mean, you guys know our dressing well method. It starts with that organization. Sarah Zengo, Sarah helped me. We did a few sessions. We got Hank's closet so organized, and we got rid of a lot of things. And then you have such beautiful pieces, Hank. And when you have designer pieces, they do not date. So yes, we have been able to fold these pieces in. And, I just said to Hank when I was there, Sarah and I are going to come back because it's been a couple of years. We're going to do another like deep organization. But it's such a joy because Hank has traveled all over the world. She is such a lover of clothes. So when I do arrive and I can play with these, I mean, you did the hard work. I'm just there to piece it together. And the thing that I love about Hank, and we're going to show you some of the outfits that we came up with on Monday night. You go the distance with me, sister. You will try on 10 shoes for me. You will put a million necklaces on. So let's start with that beautiful necklace that you have on because it's such a beautiful story. So tell the women, I know it came from Etsy.
It came from Etsy. And look at this. It's 3 necklaces. I don't know if I can take them off. And I saw it's called the Anna Wintour necklace because I saw a wonderful picture of Vogue's Anna Wintour in a necklace just like this. And I'm trying to get it off casually and talk with you at the same time, which I'm failing miserably at. But it's 3 pieces. So you see, you can get different colors. This is charcoal, and this is sort of gold, and this is a different shape gold. And I got, don't tell anyone, I also got burnt orange, and I got red. And you can mix and match them. You can wear 2 or 1 or 3. Like this and throw them on. You just throw them on. So look up on Etsy, Anna Wintour necklace. They're made in the UK. So these were sent to me from a person in the UK. And I love them. And I also think that you throw them on and they just go on. There's no like, let's fuss with this to see how it goes. You saw me put that on. Oh, yeah. It just goes on.
Yeah, and only Hank would, find that website where she would get the Anna Wintour necklace. But then I show up and she's got these. I'm like, where did those come from? They weren't here last time I was
No, they weren't. No, they weren't.
For those of you, I get so many questions, and Hank and I talk about this all the time. If you want to wear black on Zoom, I think you will agree that Miss Hank Phillippi Ryan looks amazing. Brightening up with the jewelry, getting your lighting right is the trick. So Hank and I go back and forth with the whole color thing. We land on black a lot because it works for her. But when she, we have those kind of beads, it's magical. So that was number 1. Do you want to show our viewers a few of the other outfits that we made?
Well, let's see, because this is really fun. And one of the fun things about these outfits is that some of the pieces are really, really old. I mean, seriously old. And some of the pieces are new. So let's see if you can tell. Let me start with this is this is a leather jacket, which is, as you can see, the sleeves are see-through. So it's leather applique over red mesh. And I bought this, I love it. You can see it's quite beautiful and quite extraordinary. And when you have it on, it doesn't really look, you can't really see skin. It just looks like it's opaque. And so, but I didn't know what to wear with it. I just didn't know what to wear with it. And Mary Lou went through my closet and found this dress, which is, I will tell you, 10,000 years old. A brown Ralph Lauren, just stretchy wool, plain dress, which is, you wouldn't bat an eye at this dress. But oh, with this over it, suddenly it's this fantastic thing, as if it were meant to be. And it's gorgeous. And I didn't bring the shoes, but Mary Lou found shoes in my closet, not that I bought, but in my closet, red suede Manolos, stilettos that are exactly this red color. And it took these disparate things and made them be wonderful. So new jacket, old dress. How about this?
And just a point for the audience is one of that to me was just so obvious. Like Hank is making it sound like that's the reason why I could do that is by the time we were done organizing, we had her sleeveless dresses together, her interesting jackets, her shoes, and suede. You can definitely do leather with leather and suede with suede if you know what you're doing, but a suede shoe with a leather and those rich colors is magic. So just wanted to give a couple of strategy behind the scenes thought process to our audience. But that jacket, oh my goodness, I like parade around with it. It is stunning.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful.
I hadn't been wearing it, which was sinful.
Well, I hadn't been wearing it because listen, you all, Mary Lou says, oh, it's nothing. It was just obvious. And it sat there for a year. It wasn't obvious to me. So I'm just saying. So this is a gorgeous, this leather jacket. And I hope you can see, it's hard to tell on camera, but it is not black. It is wine red. It is raisin. It's the color of a raisin.
I know that one.
Color of a raisin. And I've been wearing it over a black dress. Well, that looks fine. It looks really good. It has a peplum, a zipper peplum that you can undo and make it be tighter or looser in the front as well. It's beautiful. But Lou goes into the closet and says, "Don't you have that row dress?" Now it's the leather jacket over the leather dress, a tight sheath dress. Now it's a suit. And now it's falling apart. But now you zip the jacket. I can't do it backwards on the video. You zip the jacket, and it's the same thing underneath, and the skirt. And I remember when I said to Mary Lou, I can't wear a leather jacket over a leather dress. That's like, no, that's really tacky. And she says, just try it. Just try it. And I think it was suede shoes and raisin stockings, not thick, but opaque raisin stockings, just this one color. It was knockout. And I have to tell you very, very quickly, because I know we're running out of time, but I met a woman online who said to me, I met you 2 years ago in Toronto, and you had on a leather jacket and a leather dress, and I couldn't believe you were wearing it. And that was that person, that's what she remembered about me, was that jacket and that dress that Mary Lou just.
And trust me, ladies, this
woman. And here's my final thing.
You wear it.
The final Mary Lou triumph. I know, because we're talking over each other, but here's the final Mary Lou triumph, because I don't want to run out of time. So I think the last time I was here, I showed you this gorgeous leather skirt. I cannot begin to tell you on camera how beautiful this is and how buttery, gorgeous leather. And it was hanging in my closet. It was just hanging there thinking, do I need a t-shirt? Do I need a sweater? If I put something over this, it'll cover it, but maybe that's okay. Or what do I do? And of course, I did nothing until Mary Lou came over. So this is new. This is brand new. So Mary Lou goes upstairs to the third floor storage closet, my other season closet, and she comes down with this sweater. Now, in a million years, would I have put this sweater with this skirt? I would not have done it. But Mary Lou says, "Oh, just try it." And I say, "This sweater is 30 years old from J. Crew. This is honestly 30 years old." So Mary Lou says, "Just try it, just try it. Put the sweater with the skirt." And then she says, "Wait a minute, wait a minute. I have an idea." And she goes into the closet and pulls out this scarf. Now we have sweater, skirt, and scarf. And now my eyes are getting bigger and I'm going absolutely crazy because I would never have thought of this in my life. And then she says, do you have a crossbody bag? Like, yeah. So I open the crossbody bag place and out comes the black cherry leather crossbody bag. Now look at you all. You would never have, you would not have thought of this, but I just looked like $1,000,000. And I'm looking for the boots, which I did not bring down, but I think one of the possibilities was.
It was that was one, but we did better. We did a tall flat.
There's a tall brown riding boot, which is, which I would have maybe picked myself. And then I could also wear cowboy boots.
No, you're not doing that with that. No. I'll come.
So
you
this is why
a green sweater that matches those boots that I thought about when I was driving away. I'm like, because Hank showed me those cowboy boots at the very end of our session. And honest to God, Hank, I'm like driving down your driveway. I'm like, oh, she's got a green sweater up in that closet.
Yes. Those cowboy boots, honestly, Mary Lou, I think they're from college.
Oh, I believe it. Oh my goodness. Well, Hank, we actually have a picture of that outfit on Hank with the boots, with the crossbody bag. Oh, and I just said to Hank, do you have a crossbody bag? And she's like, all of a sudden I have 50 crossbody bags to choose from that are all gorgeous. Some of them are vintage, but Hank, you are just such a joy. I so love playing in your closet. I love that you understand the power of clothing and dress. I love that your books include your phenomenal style. I hope this doesn't sound weird, but I'm so proud of you. 13 books. I mean, I wrote one and I stopped. It was harder than giving birth to twins, writing that book. 13 books. Please, guys, get it. We'll have a book discussion next time she comes back.
That'd be great.
I'm loving it. It's been a while since I've been able to check out and just really enjoy a book. And I've been up the past 2 nights reading it. And again, my offer stands. If you live locally, I'm at Hank's house all the time. You let me know. Hank and I get stuff done. You let me know. We will get the money, whatever. I can deliver the books. It's a wonderful Christmas gift to give to yourself. That's my new thing, by the way, is gifting myself. We'll talk about that on another program. But Hank, just thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure, Mary Lou. Thank you so much. You are a life-changing friend. And I say that with so much joy and gratitude.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, everyone, we'll be back next week. We just gave you a preview of our leather weather blog. I've got my leather dress on. You saw Hank's beautiful pieces. Sarah and I are going to pop a few pictures in the chat tomorrow. And also when Sarah posts announcing the leather weather blog is up, pop some pictures of yourself in your favorite leather. If you're a little too shy to put your pictures in, just do a couple of pictures. We'll have a lot of fun with those pictures on next week's live. All right. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Sarah, over in the Facebook group. You know where to find us. Have a great rest of the night, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, Hank. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye.